Once upon a time, in a city of Shravasti, many members of different religious sects organized sermons, lectures, and debates throughout the region, inviting people from the city to attend. At the debates, different sects were given a chance to present and explain their doctrines. Several of the Buddha's lay disciples also attended some of these debates and observed that every speaker considered his doctrine the only correct one. They noticed that the debates began cordially but often ended in angry shouting matches over various issues. Seeking a solution to this problem, the disciples approached to the Buddha for guidance. The Buddha, upon hearing their problem, provided a solution by telling his disciples the following story. Once a king had trouble with his ministers. They would argue so much that almost nothing was decided. The ministers always felt that they alone were right and everyone else was wrong. The clever king, to teach them a lesson, one day invited few people who have been blind since birth. The king brought out his royal elephant into the center and asked the blind men to touch it and then describe what the elephant was like. The blind man, who rubbed his legs, said that the elephant was like the pillar, like a tree trunk. The man who stroked his tail said that the elephant was like a feather duster. The person who touched his ears said it's a palm leaf fan. The man who touched its stomach said that it was like a huge rock, and the person who touched his tusk said the elephant was like a stick. Whereas another man who touched its trunk said that it's like a snake. When they started discussing what the elephant was like, no one could agree with anyone else, and a very heated argument arose. After telling the story, Buddha said to his disciples, "What you see and hear comprises only a small part of reality. If you take it to be the whole of reality, you will end up having a distorted picture. A person on the path must keep a humble, open heart, acknowledging that his understanding is incomplete. We should devote constant effort to study more deeply in order to make progress on the path." After listening to the story, all the disciples came to know about the importance of humility and open-mindedness, and how limited perspectives can lead to misunderstanding and arguments. And so the story of the blind men and the elephant is a timeless reminder in today's world, where we are constantly bombarded with information, opinions, and views. When it comes to forming opinions or views, it's crucial to perceive things accurately. Views are essential because they guide us towards making the right choices. Therefore, it's vital to modify our views progressively, and to enable that, we must hold them lightly. By doing so, we become more humble about our views and acknowledge that they are subject to change. It doesn't mean that we should accept every view we encounter, but it helps us understand that other people's views are similarly conditioned and uncertain. We become more receptive and listen more when we hold our views lightly, instead of being rigid and believing that we're always right. This will indirectly help to reduce unnecessary arguments and disagreements, and also to have a flexible perception of reality and move towards the right direction. But where do our views and opinions come from? They stem from our emotions. If a view feels good to us, then we adopt it. For example, we grow up in a specific way, with certain family values and viewpoints on life, and because they feel good to us, we embrace them. When we acknowledge the emotional basis of our views, we don't take them too seriously because we realize that they aren't reliable. Whether our feelings are applicable in that particular circumstance is what determines the validity of our views. In this story, the blind men formed opinions and views on the elephant based on the only parts they touched, which were incomplete and inaccurate. Instead of blind faith, if they had dialogue with each other and instead of opposing, had combined their experience, they could get a clear description of an elephant. So, in order to gain a more complete understanding of complex situations, we must be humble, embrace different perspectives, cultivate open-mindedness, and encourage teamwork. These practices will help us to make more better decisions and progress on our spiritual paths. Thanks for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And do not forget to press the bell icon for latest updates.